Viewers, I wanted to welcome you for another impromptu pop-up live. I'm trying to finish some custom orders, and I just spent the last couple hours going outside and making sure that the grapevine has been entirely, de-leaved, de-twigged, kind of cleaned it up, made sure that there's no protruding spaces on the front and the back. And I thought today I would kind of do this on a easel. I'm going to look at maybe doing these more for the future videos when we do grapevine florals. So this is a new look. This is something different, and it allows you to see the whole wreath rather than just it flush. Plus, it allows me to kind of see how things are laying, which I generally don't do it until it's on the front door, and then I might look at a handful of areas that are in need of readjusting, maybe changing up placement here and there. So this one's a little bit different. So you guys have seen me do grapevines before. This one's client's wish list is blues and yellows with a welcome sign. So I am going to be incorporating this welcome sign, which is from Personalize It by Pam. I love her signs. I think it definitely like captures everything that is going to be going on the wreath. And this is the first time that we've taken a 10-inch round and actually added it to a grapevine. But what we're going to do is the sign's going to kind of go over here. We're going to have the colors, the blue and yellows, a little bit more of the royal blues. Popping in here, our sunflowers are going to be our focal flowers. And then we're going to come in with some Gerber daisies possibly, some cornflowers, and then a lot of fillers and a lot of greenery. So we're going to do this one a little bit different than what you've normally seen me do in the past. Normally you'll see me add all the greenery, then we'll add all our florals. We always come in and put the bow last, but this time we're going to be attaching our sign, and then we're going to be adding our bow, and then we're going to be building from there. So if you're a first-time person joining me, this isn't my normal scheduled time for going lives. I'm usually on Fridays at 5 Pacific and then Sundays at 6 Pacific. But I just felt, hey, I'm working on these. You guys might gain from some additional knowledge with me sharing with you how I put this entire design together. When you're working with florals, you generally have an idea, but you don't know how it's all going to manifest together until it's complete. So we're going to be doing this step by step, a little bit at a time. Give me just 1 second to make sure I can pull you guys up on Facebook. If you're new here for the first time, come in and let me know. Let me know where you're from. And let's see, I'm grabbing the wrong video. This is the one from yesterday. Hang on just 1 second, because I want to make sure we're actually in. Okay, come on, Facebook. Stop being finicky today. There we go. All right. So I can see you. Right, Kathy? Just in time for lunch. Yeah, I figured I'd be able to do this one just before lunch, and then I'm hoping to do the other one a little bit later in the day. We'll kind of see how that goes. I might save the other one for the private group because this one's client wish list is blue and yellow grapevine, welcome sign. And then the other one that follows up is sunflower, but a little bit more country. So incorporating a lot of burlaps, and then we're doing a monogram letter on that grapevine. This is an 18-inch grapevine. I love grabbing these from Joann's. Joann's just had a sale on these not too long ago. And the reason why I like Joann's is because it's very thick. There's a lot to work with. Whereas sometimes if you go to like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, maybe ordering some of them online, they're a little thin. There's not an awful lot to them. So if you want your grapevine to weather well, you want to make sure that you have some substantial bulk to work with. Plus, it's going to give some strength to our wreath overall. Let's see. Hi, Tracy. Long time since you caught me. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Kathy from North Carolina. And then Terry says she went out of her comfort zone and did a patriotic floral grapevine wreath. I love grapevines. They are by far my favorite design to actually work with because I just think that there's so much that you can do with that. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is grab my floral wire for my sign. Make sure I have my scissors out. I guess it would help if I actually grab the metal hole punch as well. So we're going to go ahead and punch holes in our sign and get that adhered. And so the round part of the sign, I want to match up with the roundness on the grapevine. And it's going to be centered here. So if we're looking at placement, it's going to kind of be down here and a little bit up around the green on our sunflower. So I'm using a Beadsmith 1.5 millimeter hole punch plier. And then of course I forget where I was doing my dimensions. So down here, follow that line all the way up. And then just make sure it's right around here in the green area. And I love Pam's signs. Personalize It by Pam is where I get some of my signs from, but she came up with this new design and I've been in love with it. You saw we incorporated that in the blue and yellow sunflower on a deco mesh, but I've been really wanting to do more florals on grapevines because they're my favorite. So we have 22 gauge floral wire. We are going to build our base on the back of the sign. So let me make sure we're building our sign base. So I'm just evening out my floral wire, and then I'm building this directly over the hole that I punched in the sign. Okay, we'll add another one right at our top. Again, making sure that it's even. And cleaning the grapevine is necessary because when you go to add your elements like your sign or your bow or your florals, you need to know roughly, I'm doing this right here, so I want to make sure. I'm going to pull this off of the wreath stem for now, just while I attach this. It's a little easier to do it face down. I'm hoping you guys can see that. So I need to find where this needs to connect to. So I'm making sure that the roundness of the sign matches the roundness of our grapevine. So good placement there. And then let's make sure these ones fit inside. I'm going to do the one to the left a little bit more. So I like using the floral wire because it doesn't get hung up like a pipe cleaner generally would. I'm going to go around this fairly large branch. Yeah, let's make sure we've got fairly good roundness on there. Making sure I'm matching the sides. I think I need to adjust the top one a bit more. So let's get this one to go up and then under. And then I think I can maintain, yes. See, I'm trying to keep the edge right alongside here. I'm gonna flip this up so that I can actually see what I'm doing on the back side. And I got this under this branch. So hang tight while I go ahead and wrap this around. Okay, let's go ahead and secure this side. You want to make sure that you've got it on there fairly firm so that your sign shouldn't have any movement, which means that I'm going to have to put one here. See what's ended up happening here? We're having it fold in the center. So we're gonna need to place one here on the back side as well. So I'm going to punch another hole in there, and then we'll go ahead and wire that one in. I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen because it wasn't necessarily like a perfect top and a perfect bottom. So let me go ahead and get this in. There we go. Let's go ahead and build this really quick. That would be a way to do it. Just lift it up. Okay. I'm trying to get these slightly uncrossed and get this more centered over the hole. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and feed this up and through, and you can see it comes perfectly out the other side. Do the same for this one as well. Okay. There we go. Pull that through, and then I think I'm safe to cut my wires off. And then these will be fastened down perfectly. Ta-da! And now our sign doesn't wobble. Okay, so we'll go ahead and remove that since we're happy with where our sign is. Oop, don't want to untwist it. Want to twist it on. Last one here. And then we'll do this one. And then I'm going to grab my needle nose and make sure that the points of these are facing down so that there's no possibility of that poking anyone. So taking that wire stem, placing that all the way on the inside, same thing here, grabbing that and turning that all the way down. Grab this one and do the same all the way down. Okay, so let's look. There we go. What do you guys think? Perfect placement for our sign. It also lets me know where does the bow need to be, and the bow placement is going to be entirely up to you. You can decide. I'm going to try to get rid of some of the glare that is on there. So you can do a bow here, a bow here, you could do a bow there. You don't have to do a bow at all. But I find it's a really good way to incorporate a lot of the colors. And so I'm going to have mine directly across from here. And I'm going to go with this. This is like my new favorite ribbon right now. It's like a blue and white. It's not necessarily a plaid, but it kind of is. And even though the customer said they didn't really want long tails, I think that if we didn't, like if I did it right about here, and this is where my tails are, I don't think it's long enough to balance the weight of the florals. So I'd rather err on length. So we're gonna go right about there, maybe a little bit longer, which is about 20 inches. And I'm gonna go ahead and pinch in, okay? And then I need to kind of eyeball the length that I want on my bow, because we're going about here, which is, let's go 5.5. So 20-inch tail, okay, twisting. I'm gonna use my bow dabber. Let's see if we can move this out of the way so you guys can kind of see me putting this together. I think that'll work. Let's make sure. Let me make sure you guys can all see. The floral part's the easy part. So we're going to go about 5.5 inches on our loop size. So I'm just going to really quick measure to get me a 5.5 inch loop. Okay, and I'm going to do 2 loops of the blue. And then we're going to start popping all the other colors in. We need to introduce some yellow, even though it's going to be predominant with the sunflowers. And then remember, we're going 20-inch tails. So let's go a little bit long. And then we're going to dovetail the ends, which is bring your wired edges together. Okay. And then you're going to cut from the folded side down to the wired point, which is fold. I like pretty deep V's because I think that looks really nice. Just like that. So we have our long tails. And then we are going to introduce some Swiss dot, because I like the Swiss dot better than the gingham. So see what you think. This is the Swiss dot, which I think has a brighter, more punchier yellow. And then the gingham is a little too soft and light. It's a little too pastel. So I'm thinking Swiss dot. And we'll bring the tail lengths up a bit. We'll do like 18 inches for these. I'd rather have them long and then we can cut them back. So 18-inch tail. We're going to do a 5-inch loop. Let's hope. Let's make sure. Does Cat have enough on here to go long tails? I think so. Let's try it. If not, I have another roll of ribbon here. I just always try to use what's open. So there's our 5 inches. And then 5 inches. And then we are good. We had just enough left to punch this in. And I was thinking about going 2.5 inch because I have a really gorgeous sunflower in gingham plaid, but it just felt like it was a little too thick. This is an 18-inch, so when I'm taking a 2.5 inch ribbon, it feels like I'm fighting for the attention. So this is my center of attention. This feels like it competes. It's a little too thick, so I wanted to go a little bit softer, a little bit lighter. So then we'll do our blue gingham. This is a royal blue gingham, 1.5 inches. So we want to kind of keep everything airy and light. And I'm going to do 15-inch tail for here. And we're going to do a 4.5-inch loop. So bring it down just a touch. I'm trying to keep it up high because I'm not used to having my camera so high up. I'm used to everything being so close. Okay, let's make sure we're at 4.5. Yes, and then we want out to 15, which is right about here. Okay. There we go. And then lastly, we had just enough of that. We are going to pop it with an orange, or not orange, a yellow plaid. Just a touch of yellow. So we'll do this one at about 12 inches for my tail length, because we went 15. I'm just bringing them down slightly. And then this is going to be a 4-inch loop. And that's where we're going to end it. So always measure, measure, measure. Bring it in. And then we'll bring in this one in. I just prefer to use the bow dabber because it gives me some consistency. I don't necessarily need to do it on this one. I could have just eyeballed it but I want this one to kind of feel a little bit more airy, a little bit open, a little bit more country-like. The ribbons for the blue and the yellow are both from Craft Outlet. The Swiss Dot, also from Craft Outlet. And what else were we looking at? The gingham used to be from Craft Outlet, but it's been sold out for quite some time. Let me grab a yellow pipe cleaner. So I was hoping, well, let's do this. Let's finish with blue. Because I was hoping to finish with blue on the top. So let's just reintroduce this again. One more time. And then we'll do this one short with 10 inches. And then that will pop the blue back in just for one last time. And these will be 3.5 inch loops. So there's that. And 3.5, but out to 10, which should be right about here. We'll dovetail the end, and then we'll add our bow. Now, why am I doing it backwards? If you are new to grapevine decorating, it's easier for a beginner to take your bow, start with a bow on it, because sometimes you can get, you have so much floral going on that sometimes we forget we need to add the bow. So if we add the bow first, it allows you to work around the areas not seen by the bow. Okay, so let's go here and we're going to fluff on the wreath. Okay, so let's bring this a little bit closer. Let's see, can we get a little bit closer? A little bit closer. I'm liking the closer because I don't have to lean over so far. Trying to get rid of their glare. Okay, so remember we said we're going to bring it right in. So I've got my one pipe of cleaner in. And I'm going to bring the second one in. And let's see, did I get that or did it fold? I think it folded down. Yeah, it did. It went down instead of up. There we go. I got both sides. So we're going to grab both ends. Here we can go pretty tight. Okay. So there is, we're going to pull all of our tails down because it looks funny to have them up in the air when they're really long. Okay. Yellow. There's the gingham. There's our plaid. And then we have the other. Now, let's fluff. So we're going to put our blue. And we have our sunflower. Grab my other loop down here. We're going to go opposite on the inside. We're going to introduce the blue at the top and our sunflower there. We're going to pop our gingham up here, opposites. Okay. Pop this one down. This one's up. We'll do the opposite here. We'll do our yellow up. Well, no, sorry. I'm going to go this way. Nope. Yes, this one's technically supposed to be going down on the blue. Blue here, yellow here. And then we'll open up the blues here. Just like that. Okay. And we have lots of streamers streaming down. We might end up, like I said, we might end up cutting these, but this is what I like it to do is if you pull down on this, it will eventually spiral, or we can just go like so and get a nice spiral streamer. Same thing here. A little bit of a streamer. We have our gingham. We can do that as well. If you're not really good on the whole curling thing, some people who have suggested you could use the deco mesh tubes that your deco mesh comes on, that real small little tube. You can use it and then just wrap your ribbon around that. Or you can do this for simple, just roll it up like so. And then you grab your tail and you pull it out sideways. Okay, we'll do the same for this one. Just roll it up. Grab your tail. Pull it out sideways. Okay. There we go. There's a nice little mix. Let's see, how do we want these to go? Opposite. Curl. Pull out the opposite side. And now, of course, the tail gets stuck in there. So, bow. Super cute, light and airy. I think I'm gonna trim some of my tails up so they're not all quite so long. But for now, this is the look that we're gonna work with. So that's where we're at for now. Let me see. Do you guys have any questions? Jana said, I just made 3 grapevine wreaths for my yard. I've never decorated one. Thank you for your ideas. You're more than welcome. Renee says, I'm not sure how to get in touch with you. Are still doing chalking? Kind of, but not so much. I'm focusing on the wreaths. I might do that more during the summer. Joanne said, I can't wait to try my hand on the grapevine wreath. Still not sure of flower arrangements. Well, hopefully this will make it super easy. Hi, Gail. Hope you're feeling okay. I know you went in and had dental work done. Lenore, isn't that a gorgeous sign for this? Susan says, what a nice surprise as I look for additional patriotic signs. All right, did I get them all? Where do I buy the sign? Judy, this is from Personalize It by Pam, and she's on Etsy. So you can purchase your sign directly from her. Okay, so sunflowers. We need sunflowers. And we need 3 of them. Fairly large ones. So I'm using Hobby Lobby sunflowers. I am going to grab my better wire cutters, which are going to be right in here. So I love this with the double. I'm going to go a little longer. Okay, remember we always push the greenery to the top. Let's remove that. So we're probably going to have like this one down here at the bottom. Doesn't that look pretty? So I've got 1. We're doing a total of 3. Remember odds. Odds look great. And it's not just going to be what we're doing. So look, if we add this in, like so, we're going to add this one in. Lord knows we don't need the stem quite that long. We'll probably add this one down in here. It'll be a little closer. I'm just looking at them from placement. And let's see. I'm looking at for size. I like a medium-sized one for the top. I think that see, like adding so much like this just feels leaf heavy. So I'm just going to do a single one, but I'm kind of thinking somewhere in here for that. So we'll have that one there, this with the little offshoot there for our sunflowers. For the large ones, I have smaller ones which we're going to incorporate in there. So we're gonna definitely do that. But before that, we want to add in some greenery. I'm just looking at that to make sure I got enough out of my sunflowers to generally know where it's going to go. But we need to line the back with our greenery. So we're gonna add a little bit of ficus. So again, you can pick these up from Hobby Lobby. They're wired all the way through. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these because I kind of know where the top ones are going to go. And we're gonna add a little bit of movement up in here. Probably right about there. I'm thinking that's kind of where I want my greenery to end. I still want you to know that this is a grapevine. And sometimes you get people who add so much to their grapevine that you can't even tell it's a grapevine anymore, except that we know in most cases, like right in there is going to allow me just enough to know, hey, that's a grapevine. So I've got one there. Let's break these down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add another one right about here. So we're doing what's called greening your base. It means we're taking some greenery, which is going to be about 3 different colors of greenery, and we're going to add them to our base. Okay, we've got a little piece in here. Do we want to add this in here? Maybe, maybe not. No. But we will add it to the top, right in here. Okay. Making sure I get all of my glue threads out of the way. Okay. Just like that. I know right now gravity is kind of pulling things downward. Let's go ahead and add another one here. I'm using just one pick right now and just breaking these down so that we have, see how far my bow comes out? I need to fill this area with floral so that, like, when you're looking around your wreath, you want to make sure that everything stays full. This way you don't have like indents where your eye is drawn to the fact that you're like, oh wait, something's missing there. Let's take this one. Not real thrilled with that one. Where's my other ficus? Let's add this down towards the bottom, just like that, keeping the length of our florals right in line. And I'm just using Gorilla Glue from my glue skillet. So here's our line filling, and then everything's going to kind of cascade up towards the top. Gonna save those little ones. Grab a bigger bunch. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to come in here down underneath and I'm going to add some more greenery. So I'm just going to go up in here. So I'm kind of laying it in the direction that the grapevine is going. So when I'm adding my picks, I'm adding them this general direction. Okay. So I'm going to go right in here. We're going to give a little bit of life there. Let's see. To fill the space, do we want to add some greenery? I might want to add florals, but I think I liked how that laid right in here. go right in here. So we're staying close to everything that we've done. Let's go a little bit longer here. I'm trying to see, do I like these? I think I like that, how that looks. I'm not trying to completely cover my grapevine base. I'm just trying to add some texture and some dimension to my greenery. Okay, now let's add another layer. This also comes from Hobby Lobby. I'll keep my sunflowers here. So, what do they call it? I think they just call it seedling bush or seedling greenery. So, I'm thinking right about in here, in keeping with our look, right about there. Okay, I'm gonna come right about here. Lay that in. Grab another piece and make sure that you pull everything apart, because when it gets shipped, everything kind of stays in their little pre-packaged areas. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and pull my sunflower out so we can add some greenery in here. Just like that. They always say that if you can find a way to incorporate about 3 different colors and textures of greenery, your wreath will look amazing. So we're going to try that. I'm going to go right in here with this. Okay. We'll do another one at the top. Make sure you pull everything out and about. We're going to tuck this one in right about there. A little bit to the outside. Kind of leaning to the outside is what I'm thinking. And of course we said lean to the outside, Kat. But Kat didn't put them in the inside. Okay, so let's add our focal flowers now. So we're doing the double sunflower down here at the bottom. So it's essential that you push your greenery up to the top so that when we come in and add this, there's our 3rd color and texture of greenery. Okay, and these are all wired so we can get them to move. So there's our 1 focal here. And then we're going to do the same for the top. And I'm cutting them not too short, but I want to make sure that all of my leaves, like when they get pushed up, all the leaves are seen. So this one's going to go right in here. We're going to go right in here, just like that. What do you guys think so far? Are you guys liking the way that looks? And then we have our little baby one that's going to go up in here and draw your eye up and around. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm thinking you can. So that's kind of what we have thus far. We want to make sure We're not crowding our bow because we want it to be nice and airy and light. And let's bend this back a bit. There we go. So it's not falling so far forward. Let me move these back. We are going to add in, let me find them. So we have some blue. So these are some mums. These are also from Hobby Lobby. We're going to introduce some of these. So we have focal 3, right? Always odd. Eyes are drawn to odd numbers. And then we're going to go with a mid-sized flower, and we're going to start popping those in. So I think I'm going to take this down, and we're going to place this right about here. So not too crowded, but nice little blue mum there. And then we are probably going to pop another one down here. Okay, so there's balance. And then we have some little ones that I think we're gonna kind of do something like this with. They're gonna kind of go down here, and then we'll pop like this right here. Let's see what we can do to the top. Because I'm all about that symmetry, right? Let's see. With filler flowers, you can be a little bit more generous. So I'm thinking we need one right about there. Okay, I'm looking. Let's go ahead and remove this. We'll add one over here. Right about there. Okay. Following the balance, following that line all the way around. There we go. And then we will probably pop something blue right here. Let me look and see what I have. I have some cornflowers too. Let's look at these. So I'm liking that. The cornflowers are nice because they're just a smaller pop. Like I think we'll take one and add one down here. And then we'll add one. See what I'm saying? Your eyes are looking for what's missing. So we'll place one out here. Maybe we'll go a little longer stem on that one. Right up here. Yes. Okay, so I got a glue. So sometimes this is what happens. I place and I'm like, oh, those look really good. Let's just leave them there. And I'm like, oh, I never glued them in. So we're gonna go in here, right into my grapevine. Not too close, not too compacted. We're gonna add this one here. Right in here. Just like that, airy, still open. Let's go ahead and pull these. So in the past, you've seen me do some designs which are known as compact base, which means that if you have a wreath that you need it to be a little bit tighter to the grapevine, then you would kind of keep everything close to the grapevine frame. But on this particular design, we're going kind of light and airy. Okay. So this, we said, was going to go down here on the bottom, keeping our line flowing. We're gonna have to taper this up a little bit. We're gonna add our other cornflower to the top. Sometimes you can just look and see where there's like a missing element. I'm going to angle that one back a little bit further. Oop. There's my glue. Remember, they're all wired stems. so we can wire them or move them where we want. We said one needs to go in here. So we're going to do that. There we go. And then I feel like we need something in here. Trying to keep, yeah, I think definitely right there. Okay. Sometimes you just got to stand back and look and see what's where. Where's everything falling? I think we definitely need one right in here. Yes. Okay. So out. Not too close to the sunflower. And don't be afraid to move them to the outside. So look at where the length of our bow is. So we need to fill in these areas so that when it hangs on the door, everything is like if you were to draw an invisible line around the outside, don't worry about the tails. But in here, see how like right in here, it's missing something? This is what happens when I am by myself and I just lightly touch my Mevo and I'm not paying attention. I did not realize you guys could not see. So, give me just 1 second. There we go. I apologize. When I went to lay my flowers down, it changed the view on my Mevo. So, I did not realize you guys could not see until I stopped and looked and realized y'all couldn't see. So I'm going to add this down here, the blue, because there's a hole there. So I'm going to pull my ribbon out, kind of tuck that in. There we go. Thank you, Eleanor, for letting me know. There's that. What do you guys think? Well, let's see if you guys can see. Let me turn this. So hopefully you guys can see that. I'm going to add a little blue right in here. Okay. Liking it? What do you guys think? I know, Gail, I saw it. I saw it. I had people texting me on my phone, Kat, fix your camera. You can't see. I was like, I apologize. That's why I took my phone and moved my Mevo remote pretty far away. Okay. Let's look at potentially filling. See, I like how that just fills. Look how when I remove that, and I still want you guys to see it, there's like a hole right here. So I'm going to add, let's pull this up and around. Kind of need to twist it. Kind of went in the wrong direction. Just like so. Let's see. There we go. All right. I'm thinking we need to add just a touch of yellow right here. Just a touch. And I'm not using the greenery on these. I'm just snipping them off so that we can add like something right about there. Doesn't that look pretty? I'm trying not to just keep going and going and going. So I think this will be like not the last flower because we have to add just a couple fillers just to enhance some open areas. Look how pretty that looks. Okay, so let us, that's weird, they have these, like these mums on the bottom. Let's see, hold on. I'm just kind of playing with placement. I feel like it needs to be yellow here. What do you guys think? I'm just trying to use a lot of the florals that may need to be popped. For example, we might end up putting in a little cornflower at the bottom right there so we can fill. I'm almost, believe it or not, almost finished. I'm going to look at adding just a touch of baby's breath. And these, again, Hobby Lobby. Let me look in here. Just a touch of white, because we have some white. It looks like ranunculus in the actual design. We're going to add another one of these at the top. To feather that edge a bit. So I'm just taking them and breaking them down into smaller picks. It just depends on how thick I want them to be. If I want them thinner, I won't push up a whole nother part. Let me see where my, hang on just a second. You almost don't see those. Hang on. I kind of like that. Flip this around. See, it seems like there needs to be something right in here. So let's see if we bend. Bend and push. Let's see. I'm looking. I'm just kind of seeing where I want things to fall. I don't want it to look like, I want it to look as natural as possible. I know it sounds odd because we're sitting here using artificial florals. So I'm liking that in there. This we need to add. Okay. Let's do these. I'm trying to remove the glue threads as I see them. Let's go ahead and add that here. So I'm just like pulling, looking. I was going to say I didn't think that I attached those in, but we'll make sure they're attached now. couple more things and then we'll be done. Let's see what else I have. Sometimes you just grab a handful of different items. Let's see. Kind of looking. No. Hang tight. Not necessarily. Sometimes I'm just like sitting here looking to see what I like. You know, seeing, do I need more blue somewhere? Do I need more yellow somewhere? Or are we complete? Let me look. I thought I had one more cornflower out. Did we? Yes, we added that. Maybe. I'm trying to think. Something needs to go right here, and I don't know what. There we go. I'm trying to think. It's like I feel like something right here and something right here. I do have some smaller sunflowers too. Some wispy ones. Maybe. But then I feel like it takes it away. If you were to add something right in here. Go long. Nope, don't like that. Let's see what ends up happening if we move our cornflowers down. Sometimes it's just a matter of repositioning some of your florals. What do you guys think? Let's see. What does the side look like? How do you fill the sides? Where'd you get the wreath stand from? Anna, I think I actually had it in like a stash type thing and I hadn't used them. So I have a really big wood one that I used for like spray painting stuff outside. So I wanted something a little bit more like a tabletop stand so that I can do that. But I'm thinking we don't need to add anything else. What do you guys think? Side. So let's look. So here's our side. It needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I'll probably add some more greenery here at the top just to finish that. Let's look at the other side. That's it. And then here's the back. So I always make sure that my picks don't protrude past the point. I do have one right there that I'll trim up. But if you see some of the greenery, we can take and just move back. Right now everything is kind of facing forward. So I can take some of this and just kind of angle it back and around. Let's flip it. So it looks really good so far. What do you guys think? Michael's has stands. Carol said they're very cheap. Wish my flower garden looked like that. So do I. Left side of the bow. So are you feeling like something needs to go? Because I'm not feeling that anything needs to go. So what I'm saying is look at, if you were to draw a line from where everything comes. So you're following this invisible line right here. This is a little long, but we can angle that back in so it kind of follows. These are a little long, we can trim those back, but I think they add character to the wreath. Here's our bow out in here. Everything kind of comes through, everything follows, everything's flowing up to this point here. I will probably wire these up because I don't like how they hang off the side. I kind of would rather them be a little bit like that. But I think everything is done. So I think we're done. Kelly said the left side of the bow looks uneven. I'm not seeing that. So we have yellow, we have our blue, we have our yellow. Let's see. Like, I like it like that. So if I was to trim these, let's trim a little bit so they're not quite so wild. But I think I'm happy with it. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I think everything looks the way that I turned out, or hoped that it would turn out. I like the bow length. If she wants to trim those up, because maybe they might be too long for her preference, you can definitely come in and trim, you know, lengthwise. But I like it when you're doing a bow on a wreath that has some really large flowers, like the sunflowers, they're large. So your eye kind of takes this and makes the connection here. So it's like it's connecting this all together in the same design. And I think it meets the client's criteria for what they were hoping for on this particular design. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to take my other cornflower and just reposition that. Kind of take my ficus and tuck it in. But I think we're all good. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining me. And Dawn, you're welcome. Thanks for showing the side. I'm never sure how much florals need to be added on the sides. Sometimes you can. Like right here, I don't think that there needs to be an overwhelming abundance of florals. You can kind of take some things and either bend them forward or bend them backwards. And then it kind of fills that space. But I guess everyone's preference is a little bit differently, or a little bit different. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you guys gained some tips here and there for adding to your designs. Any last minute questions you all have that I could potentially answer for you? I'm just thinking about adding a touch of white in here. Just a touch of white. I think that needed to go there. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for joining me. Thanks for bearing with my difficulties with the camera. I will make sure that that doesn't happen in the future. But yeah, when you're all alone and you have a remote and you have your remote sitting and then you place something on it, you don't realize that if you tap the screen, it automatically goes to a zoom function. So you kind of miss out on that. But have a great and wonderful day, everyone. And I hope you guys will join me again on Friday.